Hey, y'all are this afternoon. This your buddy George Jones over here at the Bergen Gun Range, the Bergen Gun Range. It's middle of December. It gets this way about this time every year. Uh, hey, I got this old used gun. The old used gun I got today is a dandy. This is a Henry Mare's Leg in 22 Magnum. Now, to tell you the truth, I don't know if I personally like this idea or not. We're going to shoot it a little bit and see how it shoots down here at about 15 yards with 22 Magnums in it. Let me start off by saying I'm a pretty big fan of Henry, okay? I've got a Henry 22. I got a Henry 22 Magnum. I'm seriously considering buying a Henry single shot rifle. I'm a big fan of Henry, and they are just exactly what they say they are, which is a good, outstanding, well-made, good quality, well-engineered gun company. Mare's Leg? Well, we'll just have to find out. The concept of the Mare's Leg started in the 1950s. There was a television show, a pilot for a TV series called Trackdown. It was about a bounty hunter. It starred Steve McQueen. The Von Dutch Armory firm in Hollywood, the guy that owned the company, come up with the idea for this gun. Now, whether or not there was any Mare's Leg type guns in the Old West is kind of a well-argued contention. I have never seen an original, or what I believe to be an original Old West photograph of someone holding, carrying, or having a Mare's Leg type gun. But I'm sure there was hobby gunsmithing going on and that sort of thing. The Mare's Leg would be an advantage over a, say, Colt, for the simple reason that it would hold more ammunition. Not to say that there was never lever action pistols, because there certainly was. Even before the Civil War, the Volcanic Company, which later became Henry and was Henry's design, and would later become Winchester, was a lever action repeating pistol. So, the concept of the lever action handgun is a fairly old one. The Von Dutch firm came up with the concept of the Mare's Leg for this TV movie pilot that later became Wanted Dead or Alive. Von Dutch produced a total of 3 Mare's Legs in 2 or 3 different calibers. And at that time, in order to produce a Mare's Leg, it had to be an AOW. And at that time, the Von Dutch firm had to get a Title II manufacturing license, pay an SOT, total at $1,100 a year, to be able to produce those 3 guns, and they had to remain in the custody of the manufacturer, or else the studio would have to pay the transfer on it and so forth. So it was, a Class 3 weapon in those days. In the 90s, the ATF changed the way that it classified firearms by weight and allowed you to manufacture a firearm that weighed more than what, Eddie?
I don't really know exactly.
46 ounces or something like that. And that's where we get things like the Mare's Leg and the Universal Enforcer pistol and AR pistols and so forth, was through that change. The Mare's Leg came out, I don't know, just after the 94 gun ban foolishness sunsetted, and you could make a heavy classification pistol again. Henry came out with mare's legs, and we all went from there. There was one other group of mare's legs. I think that the Uberti or Petrosoli or one of those houses manufactured a few for movie making in Spain and Italy. Once Upon a Time in the West was made about 1969, and the mare's leg type gun is featured in that movie. So I always called a mare's leg the gun for a guy that didn't bring enough horses. If you've ever seen the movie. Well, all right. This is a standard, straightforward 22 Magnum Henry lever action. It's just exactly like mine, except mine has a 16.5-inch barrel and a full-length stock. And I've got the conventional lever. Let's load this guy up, see how many it holds. I think it holds 8. We'll put 8 in it. Or 7 as they appear. We're using Federal. If I don't choke to death, no, I ain't got the COVID. I've got the sinuses and the drainage and all that nonsense. Let's load this guy up. It doesn't have a loading slot on the tube, so you have to take the tube completely out to get it loaded. I always like Henry's magazine tube setup. The magazine tube itself is steel. The inner tube is brass. The fitting on the top of it is knurled steel instead of plastic like there is on a lot of them. And the follower is steel. All right. Let's put that guy back in there. Put it back in there. All right. Goes right up in there. Get my ear mufflers on. And see if I can hit that old target down there at all with it. All right. Turn the old camera around so you can look at the gun while I'm shooting it. That'd be good. Boy, I'm telling you what, we got cinematography, don't we? All right. I don't even know how to get a hold of this thing. It's like, all right, well, let's see if it shoots. And apparently it shoots. It's about the most unwieldy thing I believe I've ever had over here. At least it didn't blow up yet. All right, let's go down here and look at the old tactical accuracy and see how it actually shoots. I'm sure it shoots good. I can see the bullet holes down there, but you can't. And it's a good shooter. You know, I seem to pull it a little bit to the right, which is unusual for me. I generally pull to the left. It does shoot. It has good accuracy potential, but it has one major flaw. And that flaw is it's unwieldy. The grip angle is all wrong. If they'd have made it into if they'd have made the grip into, instead of being a straight stock like this, if they'd have produced the gun in a scant C or full C stock, like you see some of the 39 Marlins, You know, I've got a C-shaped stock. I think it would have been a lot better. As it sit, the gun shoots good. It works good. But for me, it's just all out of whack. This particular gun is at Apache Armaments, Caney Fort Guns and Ammo in Somerset. You see mare's legs used. You typically don't see the Henry full-length rifles on the used rack. But you see these guys on the used rack. And the reason why you see them on the used rack is because people get them, you know, they fantasize about them, they have a great idea, they like the TV show Wanted Dead or Alive, they like the old spaghetti westerns where the mare's legs are in them, you know, and then they get them out and try and shoot them, and they just don't get it. That's all there is to it. You know, it just is kind of an ungamely gun. You know, it doesn't have this or that or, you know, what you would conventionally do. If I was, to tell you the truth, I'm kind of in the tax stamp club. I've got a few registered transferable things. I tell you what this guy would be great at. It'd be great with a stock about that long. You know, it would be great with a youth model length stock. It would make a great little Yukon style trapper gun, you know, and, you know, that would require a tax stamp. It would be a short barrel rifle then, see, so you'd have to put a $200 tax stamp on it. But you'd have a really neat little rifle. Well, that's about the size of it for the old Henry's Mare's Leg and .22 Magnum. It's a great rifle until you go to try and shoot it. You know, now I was hitting things earlier down here at 50 yards with it. You know, I was hitting the little steel targets and dingers and danglers down there at 50 yards with it earlier before we started filming. So it does shoot and it does work and it does cycle. It's not for me. It may be for you. Just tell you the truth. Mare's Leg, pretty cool old gun, just tell you the truth. Well, that's about the size of it for this installment on 8. I got this old use gun. Like, share, commentate, and subscribe. And keep on being careful in these dangerous times now. God bless everyone and join the NRA. You're going to need them. All right, then. We'll see y'all.